Hey guys, welcome back to Diving Deep in Thought. You heal the lies, and today I want to talk to you guys about one of the quotes from my Instagram page, Diving Deep in Quotes. So these are quotes I come up with on a daily basis sometimes, and I just post a few that I think are good. Today I'm going to share with you a quote and the meaning behind it, and where I drew motivation to compose this quote. So the quote is, do not avoid chaos, but rather adopt to chaos and challenge it. Find strength deep within, and in that silence and stillness, find order. The order is what remains and is who you are when the chaos has passed. So let's break it down. Do not avoid chaos. So what is the chaos? Well, the chaos is always happening in the world. The chaos in the world is and isn't your problem, but the connection that you make with you and the world is the interpretation. So the chaos actually for you is in your mind. That is the chaos. It's not in the world. It's because to overcome the world or to challenge the world or to remain who you are, to preserve your spirit, he who is within must be greater than he who is within in the world. So you have to find that composure in yourself. So the first part of it is the chaos, and the chaos contextually that I'm talking about is what's in your mind. So it's the chaoticness, the erraticness in your mind of all these ideas constantly flowing, constantly needing to be stimulated. That's what's in your mind. And it's really important to understand that these thoughts are running anyway. They could be running unconsciously, and it's not until you're aware of those thoughts that you realize they're happening. And so the first part of this quote is to face, adopt, and challenge. To face, adopt, and challenge the chaos. So what does that mean? That means face your thoughts. And you can do that really simply. You need absolutely nothing, is by just sitting down. So when you just sit down, when you're in a really tough mind space, and you just sit down in silence, no music, no external stimulation, just sitting down and actually observing your thoughts. And all you got to do is just sit there silently, basically induced boredom. So you're sitting there and you're trying to control yourself, and your mind is ticking away going, you should be stressed, you should be doing this particular thing right now, you're going to be unproductive, why aren't you doing this? And that's okay. Observe that, because they're your thoughts. So sit in silence, let's say 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's probably going to be really hard. That's the point. Sit there and observe what thoughts, what governing thoughts are running through your mind. And just take them in, feel them, observe them, and just sit there and let them come through. Let them flow naturally. Do not induce any thought process. Just sit there and observe nature, but do not instigate any thoughts. Try to get to the bottom of where the stream of thoughts is coming from. And in that, there is so much power. So because you're not being distracted and feeding the ego, because when you act, when you move, when you're always achieving stuff, your brain is getting fed all this information. Your ego is being fed. But actually, what's the most important part is when you silence the brain and silence the thoughts, your heart starts to speak. So the mind interprets, stimulates, problem solves, takes meaning from the world, but the heart is the actual connection. So the connection's the heart, not your mind. Your mind just observes and is stimulated consistently. That's why the mind needs so much. But the heart, that is when the heart, that's where you're going to get your essence of who you are and your drive and your passion, is when you silence your thoughts and let your heart speak and figure out what it is at the core of you. And that brings me to the second part, which the second part is finding strength deep within, in silence and in stillness. find order. So this is the building stage. So the first stage is the chaos, observing the chaos. But the second part is processing the feelings, processing the thoughts. Now, the feeling is in the heart and the thoughts are in the mind. So both of them are going to work together. So the process of your feelings is the heart. It's the actual, whether it's pain, whether it's joy, whatever it is, the processing part of all that is in your heart. But in your mind is the meaning that you've given to that event. So if there was an event that happened, if, for example, last week, I wasn't in a really good mind space, and the thing I did was I sat there, I observed that feeling, I faced it, I challenged it, and what happened is my body naturally recruited the feelings or the growth necessary to overcome that. The body just does it, as long as you don't buy into the chaos. So if you've got this mindset of, let's say, I'm an absolute failure, or the world is telling you that the world is crumbling through the news, through other people, take that in. Don't block that out. Take that in and break it down. Say, okay, is the world really crumbling? What would that feel like if it actually was? Then look inwards and realize that you still got your home, you still got your health, you've still got, and what happens is gratitude comes through. But if you're buying into the world is crumbling and you're buying into people's ideas and they've taken you out of character because you're influenced that easily by other people and you haven't looked in, you haven't found the silence and stillness, the chaoticness is driving you out. So the thing is, the world is drawing out of you. And your control is the silence and stillness that you have, and you can never control what's outside of you. The actions outside of you cannot control. But I'm telling you, you have absolutely full control of your reaction. That is undoubtedly the most powerful thing you can have, is to be able to control your reaction. And controlling your reactions, sometimes observing, getting into that mind space and finding out what your body draws out of itself to combat that problem or that mentality that you're currently in. So this is all the silent work. The silence and stillness I'm talking about is the silent work that you're doing within yourself. It's the thing you do behind the scenes. You see all these Instagram models, Instagram bodybuilders, they're showing you the highlights. It's like the highlight reels of their life. But they're not showing you the silence and stillness and suffering that they had to go through, because there had to be a process of growth. They don't need to show you that. That's an assumed knowledge. To get to that level of fame and power and self-confidence, self-worth, you would have had to. Everyone knows you have to do those previous steps to get there. They weren't born like that. That's the thing we learn. The more you relate to real life situations, the less you assume what other people have done, or you assume that they've had it easy. So when you've built a house and then you look at a house, say you've physically built a house and then, or got someone, you've seen the whole process and the heartache in building a house and the stress, and then you look at a house, you've attached the process of that house getting built. So you're appreciating the work that went into it. Whereas if you assume houses just pop up like that, then of course you're not going to appreciate it. So these people are actually putting in a lot of work. You have to respect that. You never want to draw people down, because at the end of the day, by drawing people down, you're the one who suffers. You're allowing that negativity into your mind, and you're responsible for your reactions. You're not responsible for everyone's actions. That's the way the world works. We're just observers here. So it's really important to process your feelings and understand what meaning your mind attaches. So the heart is finding the meanings, and the mind attaches meaning to everything. The last thing is, order is what remains when the chaos is gone. This too shall pass. That means every single event in your life will pass, but it won't pass until you come to closure with it. So how long you hold on to a bad thought or bad idea or good thought or good idea, sometimes we get so carried away in how good things are, we take it for granted, and then when it's gone, our sensitivity to pleasure is also sensitivity to pain. So we get even more depressed when we hold on to really, really joyful, momentous occasions, and we live in this euphoric state for a long time. it really hurts when you come down. So it's good to be sort of neutral, always in an observational. Let your feelings run through. Understand. Don't suppress or withhold your feelings, because your feelings are information. They're feedback loops. They're constantly giving you information. And if you block too many of them off, you start losing sense and detaching from your reality. So it's really important to feel everything and understand and process it properly. And order is what remains. So who you are today, your collection of memories, your collection of quirks, your collection of habits, all these beautiful things that make you up right now in this one point in time, the present moment, is all these analysis of previous situations that have made you into who you are today. And the idea behind today's video is looking at what's been anchoring you, what's been holding you back, what chaos are you holding on to, what prolonged chaos, because the chaos has probably passed, but you've held on to a feeling that makes you relive it all the time. So the silence and stillness is what you need to get in, and that could be done through meditation or just induced boredom. Just sit still and see what your body's telling you. Trauma is stored in your body, and it'll tell you what it's feeling, and all you got to do is answer those requests internally or through another external medium, in any form you wish to go through. But I think it's really important that I share this with you guys. And then this is really easy it allows you to find out who you are more deeper, on a deeper level, rather than keep seeking everyone else's answers. We're all looking for that one quote or that one answer or that golden nugget that's going to save our life, and we keep going through this analysis paralysis where we get so much information but not enough applicability to our lives, and we chase that. But that's not good enough. It's all about addressing what you have in you, and whatever's necessary, then you start to draw the information you need. But knowing everything in a library and applying nothing is not helpful. So I hope this video has helped you guys to look inwards a bit more. I hope it's given you a different mindset on any emotion you're feeling. Process it, analyze it, and see what meaning you've attached to it. Thanks for listening to this video. If you enjoyed it, share with your friends, share, subscribe, and like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you.